I-26 was a Japanese B-1 type submarine which saw service in the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II. She was completed and commissioned at the Kure Dockyard on 6 November 1941, under the command of Commander Yokota Minoru. Service history: patrols on the U.S. and Canadian West Coast. On 7 December 1941, I-26 sank the 2,140-ton U.S. Army-chartered lumber freighter Cynthia Olson 300 nautical miles off the coast of California, the first American merchant ship to be sunk by a Japanese submarine in the war. I-26 had orders not to commence hostilities until 0330, the 8th of December, the anticipated time of the attack on Pearl Harbor. I-26 found Cynthia Olson prior to that time, but remained submerged until surfacing near the freighter at 0330 Tokyo time. I-26 fired a warning shell over Cynthia Olson from its 14 cm deck gun. Cynthia Olson stopped and radioed they were being attacked by a submarine. I-26 sunk Cynthia Olson by gunfire after the crew abandoned ship in lifeboats. The steamship Lurline heard the radio message from Cynthia Olson, but the crew of the sunken ship perished at sea while attention was focused on the simultaneous bombing of Pearl Harbor. After searching unsuccessfully for the aircraft carrier USS Lexington following the attack on Pearl Harbor, I-26 patrolled off the entrance to the Strait of Juan de Fuca. A scheduled bombardment of American coastal cities on Christmas Eve of 1941 was cancelled because of the frequency of coastal air and surface patrols. I-26 was in Yokosuka Dry Dock No. 5 on the 18th of April 1942 when one of the Doolittle Raid B-25 missile bombers damaged the carrier U-Ho in the adjacent Dry Dock No. 4. On Sunday, 7 June 1942, to the 3,286-ton freighter Coast Trader departed Port Angeles, Washington bound for San Francisco with a cargo of newsprint. I-26 torpedoed Coast Trader as it left the Strait of Juan de Fuca that afternoon, and the ship sank in 40 minutes. One crewman died of exposure before the remainder were rescued over the following 2 days. The United States Navy apparently did not want to acknowledge Japanese submarine activity off the Pacific coast during the Second Happy Time and officially attributed the sinking of Coast Trader to an internal explosion. In the evening of 20 June 1942, while patrolling 2 miles off the coast of British Columbia, I-26 surfaced and shelled the lighthouse and radioed direction finding installation at Estevan Point. This simple act caused a disproportionate effect on coastal shipping, as all lighthouses along the coast were then extinguished for fear of the use by enemy vessels. I-26 returned to Yokosuka on 7 July 1942. Pacific actions. On 31 August 1942, she crippled the aircraft carrier Saratoga at 10.567 degrees south, 164.300 degrees east, minus 10.567, 164.30 with 1 torpedo hit. On 13 November, during the Third Battle of the Solomon Sea, she also hit the badly damaged cruiser USS Juno at 10.550 degrees south, 161.050 degrees east, minus 10.550, 161.050. I-26's torpedo set off Juno's magazine, blowing the ship in half. Only 10 of the 650-man crew were ultimately rescued. All 5 Sullivan brothers died either in the initial explosion or floating in the water awaiting rescue. On the night of 25-26 October 1944, in the aftermath of the Battle off Samar, I-26 attacked the escort carrier USS Petrov Bay off Leyte. I-26 was sunk by either US Coolbar or US Richard M. Rowell. The last contact with I-26 was on the 25th of October. She was officially presumed lost east of Leyte on the 21st of November 1944. I-26 was finally removed from the Navy list on the 10th of March 1945. I-26 was the IJN's third highest scoring submarine in terms of tonnage sunk, sinking more than 51,500 tons.